I've done more teaching explaining the hard times and how I had to rest and depend on the Lord to get through it. Because in my strength, I'm weak. But in his strength, I was able to overcome and prosper. Dave's one of my closest friends. We meet about once a month. He lives now in Mesa, Arizona. But no, we were in a Bible study together for a long, long time. And when he went through it and he, came back, they said he'd never pitch again. That's how it works. And what ended up happening, and his prayer was, Lord, just let me pitch one more time. And I remember we were playing, I think it was San Diego, and between him and Steve Bedrosian, they threw a 5-hitter. He won the game. The next week, we go to Montreal, and Dave's pitching every 5 days. And he goes out there, and after the 5th inning, he comes in and he goes, man, my arm's bothering me. I'm like, hey, Dave, don't you think maybe that's the Lord telling you? No, I'm all right. Went back out there, next inning, snapped his arm. And I remember, and again, this is how God works, if you're looking for God in the situation. They put Dave on the gurney, and he looked at me, and my nickname is Bugsy. And he goes, Bugsy, isn't God good? He didn't only give me one, he gave me 2 games. And that's how we have to look. Your life is either half full or half empty, but you get to choose. We were kind of called the milkshake kids, or, that was frowned upon. Like, you're, ho-hum, you're not giving your best effort. Well, I played hard. I took the guy out at second. I plowed the catcher. I did that kind of stuff. But I played for the Lord. But I played the best way I could. People perceive at times Christianity as they're wimpy and they don't, and oh, woe is me and all. No, it's not like that. There's a lot of examples in the Bible that God used, David and all of them, Solomon and others that, did wonderful things for the God, but they were also skewed men. They had sin in their life like we all do, and they were our example, and now we're the example for generations to come. John Candelaria was a left-handed pitcher, about 6'5", dropped down left-handed, and him, Nolan Ryan, and probably Greg Maddux. Those are the 3 that stick out now. I was fortunate to be able to spend 3 years around Willie Mays every day. He was my idol, him and Pete Rose. I got to meet Pete, played against Pete, which was kind of cool. But again, you're able to sit and observe and see people who their whole life has always been that, and that's how their identity is. And then you see those that's what they did, but that's not who they are. And then they're able to get out and then be able to move on in life with purpose, guidance, and direction. And they're on both sides of that coin. Probably the greatest player I played against is Barry Bonds, by far. Barry Bonds was the greatest player I ever played against. And I mean, I played against some, I played against Pete and, all that, but the domination that Barry was in the game was unmatched, in my opinion. His dad was a pretty good player in the big leagues, Bobby Bonds, and his godfather was Willie Mays. When you got that pedigree right there, it was a gift that God gave him. He knew and understood where it came from, and he tried to share that with others and did a great job with it. Probably Eddie Murray. I played with Eddie in Los Angeles. Probably the greatest player I played with. My message is simple. It's one about I love the Lord. I love my wife and my children. I love the game of baseball. And I love to make disciples. And the way this world is going, people are looking for truth. They're looking for substance. And so what I basically do is share kind of how God has moved in my life and let God speak to the audience as I share. And when I walk away, if there's anything I've said I hope they forget it, but if they hear something from the Lord, that's what I'm here for.